Hello everybody, and welcome back to OMB Reviews. I am the critic who is a cynic. Hope we're doing well, and today is a day in which I honestly wish I had owned stock in AMC Entertainment, because AMC stock has skyrocketed because of some amazing people on Reddit who are basically screwing over a bunch of hedge fund managers, which at the end of the day, for me, is a win, because those are people that bet against stocks and get rich off of it in the process, and many of those people are starting to lose countless numbers of dollars, and it looks like it could continue, though it seems that Wall Street and big government, because we all know that they are very much tied together, are trying their best to stop it, including stopping trading of various stocks, including AMC and also GameStop, and of course, it's all to protect the big money interest. And to me, it helps to both expose just how silly the system is and just how corrupt the system actually is as well. But before going any further, please be sure to smash that like button, whether you're watching over on Minds.com, on Odyssey, or on YouTube. Those are the platforms that I upload my videos to. All those likes really do help out a lot. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Also, check out links in the description of the video to find out ways that you can help to support the channel. So as it says here, this is from Deadline. It says that movie theaters will rebound to box office record in 2023, one analyst predicts. That is a long time, and here is the big problem. If movie theaters have to wait until 2023 for 2 years in order for them to quote-unquote rebound, that is just going to allow movie studios like Disney, like, Warner Brothers with HBO Max, to be able to continue to put more content and put more focus onto shows and try and make money that way. Now, I'm not saying that we're never going to see a massive box office hit ever again, but it just does seem very unlikely that we're going to have a massive rebound. Keep in mind, they say rebound to box office records. They're not saying that we're going to get back to a status quo or they're going to get somewhat close. This is saying that they're going to reach the heights of all the things they were reaching prior to all the COVID lockdown crap. And I just don't quite see that actually happening. But before going into this story, we do have to talk about this amazing thing going on right now with Reddit. So as it says, AMC seizes on the rally to sell stock, but misses an even bigger payday. So apparently AMC had decided to sell some stock to build up some revenue, and they decided to sell off way too early and missed out on a huge potential payday for them, which honestly could have probably preserved them for the rest of the year. As this says from Reuters, AMC Entertainment Holdings Inc. said on Wednesday it had raised $304.8 million by selling shares during an unprecedented social media-driven rally in its stock, though the U.S. movie theater firm could have raised about 4 times more by waiting one more day. That's right. They could have made over $1 billion in money had they waited just a little bit more. AMC was forced to raise capital to stay afloat after its ticket sales plunged 80% in the wake of the coronavirus outbreak, and, let's be more accurate there, because of the unlawful and crazy restrictions because of governors. It staved off bankruptcy last year thanks to a debt restructuring deal with its lenders and private equity firm Silver Lake. Shares of Leawood, Kansas-based AMC rose a cumulative 41% on Monday and Tuesday as amateur investors, many of them organized online in forums such as Reddit's Wall Street Best, but actually I think it's Wall Street Bets, not Best. Again, I guess they I guess they must have misspelled that. Decided to take on hedge funds shorting the stock, and damn right, they should be gone after. AMC disclosed on Wednesday that it had sold $304.8 million worth of stock on Monday and Tuesday at an average price of $4.81 per share. The company's shares, however, jumped as much as 310% on Wednesday as the speculative frenzy intensified. They closed at $19.90 a share, about 301% higher on the day. Had AMC sold the same number of shares at that price, it would have raised $1.26 billion in capital. Oh man, I bet AMC is kicking themselves in the rear end right now. No, don't get me wrong. Getting $304 million is a pretty good pretty good amount of money on their part. But man, oh man, they really missed out on a gigantic bit of money in the process. And honestly, as I said, that $1.26 billion could have been something that could have kept them afloat for even longer and also kept them less reliant on other investors. And God, obviously, if things get worse, if things get crazier, especially in other countries, since obviously we know AMC does have stockholders in China that put money into it from the Wanda Group, This is something that maybe will come back to bite them in the tush. We honestly don't know. We'll have to wait and see just how far all this stuff goes. It goes on to say that although AMC could decide to sell more stock in the coming days, the money it left on the table shows how the speculative rally of the last few days is heavily shorted shares, particularly those of video retailer GameStop Corp, presents both an opportunity and a challenge for companies. An AMC spokesperson did not respond to a request for comment. AMC, which also operates Britain's Odeon cinemas, said on Monday it had already raised enough money to rule out a potential bankruptcy through the combination of debt and equity issuance. It has raised $917 million since the middle of December to help cushion the blow from the pandemic. But again, isn't that quite interesting? The fact that they had to do everything they could to raise $917 million since December, and they could have made over $1 billion in just a couple of days. Gosh. But seriously, these people on Reddit are heroes. But you know what's so crazy? Reddit has now shut down that subreddit. They have now shut down that group. You now have several companies that are shutting down trading and putting pauses on trading for these companies. It's just amazing to me that these companies are acting as if they're losing massive amounts of money. Or rather, the Wall Street speculators, right? They're acting as if they're having a free fall. You don't tend to see stocks get held. You don't tend to see sales get held when things are going really well. It tends to be the opposite. It tends to be when you're trying to stop a massive sell-off of stock that you see any type of playing around with this stuff. And so when the fact that you see this when people are buying just goes ahead and to show you that these hedge fund people obviously have a lot of power, not just in Wall Street, but also in Washington, because do not be surprised if over the next coming days you have some massive quick movements in our representative government trying to protect these people in the stock markets. Because if there's one thing we know, they will do everything they can to help their big tech, big corporate overlords more so than the American people, which is why they are much more likely to spend countless hours and days and weeks debating whether or not American people who have been forced to be out of work because of their unlawful mandates should get a cash check, versus, oh, they're hedge fund managers and all the people on Wall Street, oh, they're getting hurt. We need to act as quickly as we possibly can. But as you can see, this is the reason why many people suspect, at least one analyst expects and predicts, that the movie theaters themselves will rebound, at the very least AMC, because obviously there's a lot of money to be had here. And again, the question is, will AMC try and sell off? Again, they were able to close today at around 1% higher than they were before, but obviously that is probably going to end up dropping and not continue to go up because of all of this crazy stopping of the buying that's going on currently right now because of this amazing Reddit group. But as it says here from this person predicting that they will rebound in 2023, which again, 2 years from now, will they actually be able to survive that? I don't quite know. It says here that as exhibitors get set to report results from the last quarter of their Annus Horribilis 2020, one Wall Street bull is predicting record box office in 2023. Eric Wold, a veteran analyst with B. Riley Securities, acknowledged in a note to clients that exhibitors' efforts to emerge from the abyss of COVID-19 have been hampered by the slower-than-expected vaccine rollout. No, it's been hampered because stupid idiot governors and mayors continue to have businesses shut down and crazy restrictions on those businesses. Instead of allowing people to make their own decisions, instead of allowing people to be adults and to be able to handle things on their own, and to allow businesses to handle the things that they want to handle and how they want to handle it, they've decided to crush business, especially small businesses, and that has led to the things going on here. Please stop blaming COVID-19 with a 99.99999% survival rate for the vast majority of people for this. All right, this is all because of unlawful government shutdowns, because of a virus that, in all honesty, is not nearly as deadly as they're trying to make it out to be. Don't get me wrong, it has negative impacts. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people who have died from it, but this is still something where they are easily missing something that is a little bit more clear than that. It says, nevertheless, he continues to believe that the pent-up demand will drive a steady burst of moviegoing once theaters reopen. Benchmarking to 2019, when domestic receipts totaled $11.4 billion, he projects the box office will drop 40% in 2021 and another 7% in 2022 before surging 7% to a new high in 2023. Now, just let me get this straight. 40% drop in 2021, I'm assuming that's from 2020. A 7% drop in 2022, I'm assuming that's also from 2021. And then you say a 7% surge. So if that's compared to 2022, how can you say that's a new record? If it's a record based on the last 3 years, that's not all that much. Like, that's kind of confusing the way he's trying to word that there, if indeed that's what he's trying to get at. But also, if you honestly think there's going to be all this pent-up desire to go see movies in the theater again, obviously I think there's some people that are going to feel that way, but I don't think it's going to be nearly as much as you think, especially, as I said, studios are going to have to try and make money during that time, which means their focus is going to shift over to making series, making movies and shows for their streaming services, which means that that's where the vast majority of their money is going to go for the next couple of years. So they're not going to have as much money behind movies, and especially big budget films that bring out the most money. So I really do think that the speculation is not well cited. But again, I'm no expert on the financial side of this. The previous high for domestic box office came in 2018 when it reached just shy of $11.9 billion. Wold's report slightly lowered his outlook for 2021 and 2022 theatrical venue. Here's the also problem. We were seeing that the box office was actually lowering every single year. So the fact that they're saying records here, I don't think they're quite understanding the percentage of all this stuff. It says, in a note, Wold also raised his 12-month price targets on 4 stocks in the sector. AMC to $5.50 from $3.50, and that is pretty much all we need to talk about right there. The fact that you have here a guy who has predictions that the stock is going to raise from is going to go to $5.50 from $3.50 when the stock just today went up to $19 shows you that this guy is not really understanding what's going on right now. We are living in a very odd time. We're living in a time when we've had unlawful restrictions, unlawful shutdowns. All the while, we've had a massive amount of money moving from the poor, from the middle class, to the wealthy on Wall Street. That's why you're seeing these people, these individuals coming together saying, you know what, in the long run, if I have to lose the $300 that I'm putting into this company, that's fine if it means that countless millions of dollars are going to be lost from these hedge fund managers and others who are on Wall Street betting against it, trying to short the bets, trying to short the stocks over there. Because here's the thing. If they can do it, if they can do a lot of what we're seeing going on from these independent people on Reddit, then how in the hell is it that they can get away with it and they can get rich off of it, but a regular everyday American can't? It honestly just doesn't make any sense, and it is just completely ridiculous. And again, this is something that I mentioned the other day about how AMC Entertainment had raised up a bunch of cash, and that even the CEO had said, today the sun is shining for AMC. No. The sun is not shining for AMC because of this nonsense being spouted right here, and it's not even because they made $300 million this past week. It's because their stock is now worth crazy amounts of money. And now you have major Wall Street factors, major Wall Street muscle, trying to stop that, trying to stop people from doing things on their own, trying to stop the people who all have Robinhood, right? Probably all of these people, the vast majority of these people are using stocks, using apps like Robinhood, because that allows for the regular plebes like us to get our skin in the game, but they can't have that. When the American people, when the smaller person is able to get into the game and screw things up, we can't allow that. We can't have any of that now, can we? So, hey, shout out to anyone that's been holding on to some AMC stock. As I said before, I used to work at AMC. I kind of wish I had gotten some AMC stock because, man, oh man, it would be a very good day for me right now with it going up 300% by the end of the run today. Now, obviously, because they're shutting things down and because they're really going after this group, it seems that very likely they are going to see some massive sell-offs tomorrow, I imagine. If AMC were smart, I imagine that they would even sell off some more stock too because they could get some pretty good money on the dollar there. But it is still something that is, in all honesty, really unknown at this point. But what are your thoughts about this stuff? Have you been following the whole Reddit story with GameStop and now AMC and other companies like it? I just think it's funny how they targeted specifically companies that were not doing well and were kind of struggling. And it makes sense, though, because those were the companies that the hedge funds would have been making the most money off of, because they essentially are the ones that will bet against stocks. They basically say, we don't think this stock is going to do very well. They bet against it. And so as long as the stock doesn't do well, and as long as they're correct, then they're able to keep their cash. But if the stock magically does well, like it just did here, and they've bet against it, it means that they took the wrong bet, which means now they owe money, which means now they're going to lose countless millions of dollars in the process. So again, this is kind of exposing the system, the flaws in the system. It's exposing the corruption in Wall Street and also in government. As I said, do not be surprised if you don't see the Senate or House come together to pass some quick resolutions to try and stop this from ever happening again. And if it does, hopefully it exposes this, and hopefully it opens the eyes of Americans to realize that, hey, we have freedoms in this country, and we've got massive big tech trying to censor us. We've got massive big government trying to control us, and we have massive Wall Street trying to profit off of all of this nonsense. But anyway, that's going to be it for me today. Please be sure to smash the like button, hit the subscribe. It helps out a lot. You're all amazing and beautiful people. I hope you all have a wonderful day. And as always, God bless. And now for a huge shout out to all of my January 2021 Patreon and Subscribestar members: Albertus Magnus, Ali C83, Andrew Hoyle, animation commentator Brian P, Dion, Divex, Enrique Evangelista, Father Christopher Miller, hail to you, Father, Father Damian Cook, Garrett Searles, The Hunky Chunky Funky Monkey, Inflamed Wood, Trap Productions, Jason Clark, Jacob Juice, Jay, Jeffrey Toone, Jonathan Carney, Laura Story, Mike Jackson, Mad Mitch Dunaway, Mr. Peabody and his beautiful twin with the beautiful hair, Orange Hat Reviews, On to June, Out of Step with Reality, Riff Magos, Rosetta Allen, Steve Glasker, Teresa Martin, Theodore Bendon, Tina Bojan, and Tina B. Thank you very much for being my Patreon members. And also a huge shout out to my Subscribestar peeps: Stan for, John B, Perpetual Punster, Mr. Roy, Glinzer, Darkstar57, J. Alex McCarthy Jr., US 888209 Fast, Dean Heiss, J-Rod the Beer Guru, Nevadan G. Adams, and ZK Man. You guys are all freaking amazing. Thank you so very much for being supporters. If you want your name shouted out, please consider joining on Patreon, where for $1 a month, you can get your name shouted out at the end of every single video and live stream. For $5 a month, you get access to that, and also you get access to exclusive giveaways, where I give away 4Ks, Blu-rays, digital codes, etc. $10 a month will get you all that, plus also access to a special podcast that I do with John the Flick Pick Flickinger. Lots of fun. We do Q&As from that as well, so you get access to asking those Q&As, asking us any wide variety of questions. And for $25 a month, you get all of that stuff, plus you get to be featured once a month on the Chosen of Valhalla live stream. And also for that first month, you get a free t-shirt shipped anywhere throughout the world. So if you want to consider any of those things, please check out the links in the description below, where you can find my Subscribestar and Patreon, and also other ways to support the channel. You're all amazing and beautiful people. Have a wonderful day, and as always, God bless.